Hello guys and welcome to patch 6.0.2, the pre-patch for Warlords of Draenor, which will be hitting in roughly a month. And I wanted to make this video to discuss all the new features and kind of highlight a few points and give you my opinion on them and hopefully hear from you in the comments below. So I'm going to start off with the models, which I think, I haven't seen every single race in detail, but I think they look really good. I don't like, however, when it comes, for instance, running. Most of the characters I see in male running, it looks a little bit, stupid, and I'm not gonna even talk about the night elf run, which is just, horrific. But I do think the model is a big upgrade for the game. I do like the models. This is how my DK looks right now, and I think it's a big plus for the game. I think it's a good thing that I finally did it, and I think we'll just get used to it. Some models are a bit, weird, but I think it's just a matter of getting used to them. I definitely take this over what we had before, even with the silly runs and all that stuff. And I'm also very excited, and changing the subject, with the stat squish. I love that the numbers are much lower. I love that, for instance, now leveling, because just before the patch launched, I was leveling a horde character, a death knight. And I've noticed that the dungeons are a little bit harder now. Now you have to actually be careful when you pull, be careful with your pulls, because I'm tanking with my DK. So I can't just, just chain pull the whole instance, because you gotta die if you do that. So that's good, it's good that it's a little bit harder. It's not a face roll anymore. Obviously it's not super hard, but it's hard and you have to pay attention, and it's not a face roll, as I said before, and I think it's awesome, and I think it provides a little more challenge to people that are leveling. I'm not gonna talk about the class changes, because I think that's a whole other monstrous subject to go through. I'm just gonna talk briefly about my Death Knight. He's a Frost. I main a Frost Death Knight. To be honest, I do miss some abilities. I miss my Raise Dead, my little pet, that it wasn't a cooldown. But overall, I think the class hasn't changed all that much, even with all the abilities that were removed. I think I'm counting like 2 or 3 so far. I think it's working fine, I think when it comes to Death Knights, it's working fine in my view. I haven't really been able to do extensive testing or anything else, or anything of that sort. When I mean testing, is playing and getting a feel for the class. I've just played when the patch launched yesterday. And today I logged in to record this video, so I don't have a lot to say, but the impression I have is that I'm gonna like it, and I've liked it so far. Also, a little about PvP. I haven't been able to be PvP on max level because there was a problem last night. You would queue up for PvP and it would take like an hour or something, and nothing would pop up, so I just gave up and went to bed. So I haven't really tried, level 90 PvP, but I have tried low level with my Death Knight, my Horde Death Knight, and I do enjoy the fact that you can actually do some fighting now, instead of, being in a stun fest, being stun locked all, just from left and right. So I do enjoy that you can actually fight back, and I do feel that there is actually some PvP going on, some fighting going on, as opposed to just being completely, silenced and stunned for 3 seconds or 4 seconds until you completely nuked down. Now you can actually fight back, and I find it fun, and I'm anxious to try it on max level, and I'm anxious to go into the next season in Warlords of Draenor, because I think it's going to be really interesting now with the removal of so much CC and all that stuff. So I'm really excited for that. Also, I did try the new instance, well, not new instance, the revamped Upper Blackrock Spire. I know it was fun. It looks good. The loot is decent. 550 blues. Anyone's above that, it's not going to be very relevant. That's why I think they should have added, to that instance, they should have added, some vanity rewards, like a mount or something that would be only, obtainable during this pre-patch event, or pre-expansion event, I mean. And I found it too easy. I felt, that most of the players, the groups that I did it with, which were like 2 or 3, I think I did it three times, players were out gearing it by a stretch. We were just like face rolling it, as opposed to what was happening when I was leveling my Death Knight. I went into Upper Blackrock Spire and I just face rolled everything. It just died instantly, so it was very fast. I did enjoy the numbers though. The DPS, is completely different now. I think I could be wrong, but it looks like this is like the Cataclysm numbers, the kind of numbers we had back in Cataclysm. Anyway, I wasn't, you know, blown away by upper Blackrock Spire. I think it was good, but I think they should have made it a little bit harder, and with different rewards in mind. You know, a little better than 550 blues, or if you don't want to go with gear, just go, as I said, with vanity items. And and to finish off, I'd like to talk about the new features. So let's take a look here. So interface features. So as most of you must know, we now have a toy box, which is cool. The pets, I don't think much has changed in the pet journal, so I'm not going to talk about that because I'm not that much into pets. So and the mounts, I do love the summon random favorite mount thing. I highlighted a bunch of them, and I do like to summon, you know, a different mount every time, and I think it's very enjoyable. And also, in moving on, what else? Let me check. Well, hold on. I don't want to forget anything. The pre-made group finder. That's it. Yeah. So this is basically OQ. Okay. This is basically OQ, the Blizzard version, which is, you know, horrible. To be honest, I haven't really tried it all that much, but just taking a look at it, I don't find it all that interesting. I think that OQ had a lot more information, relative information, like what the raid leader cleared, how many wipes, etc. And it goes the other way too. The raid leader recruiting people could check out if you had achievements, not achievements, but if you cleared on flex, normal, etc. I do find this Blizzard version of OQ, let's put that in between quotes, a little bit rudimentary, a little bit primary. It could use a lot of improvements, but you know, that could happen over time. And I think, you know, it's better to have this than nothing. And OQ would always pissed me off because it required updates almost every week, which was, you know, a pain in the ass for me. Anyway, that's, you know, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about this patch. Overall, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's good after, you know, almost 14 months of nothing. I find it good that we have stuff to try out, the new quest chain over here that you do once you logged in. And you get the pet at the end. I think all of that was fun. I liked, you know, gave me an opportunity to try out my class. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the patch. I think it's a good thing, and I think Warlords of Draenor is definitely going in the right direction, in my opinion. Even with all the changes that people hate, like, you know, the stat squish or the class changes, especially the class changes, which is affecting a lot of people. You know, but that's life. You know, we have to adjust, and I feel, or I want to believe that Blizzard has the best intentions in the changes, and I do feel that the game is getting better. You know, even if some stuff I don't like as much, I do feel that the game is getting better. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the stuff I mentioned, and if you want to talk about something else that you hated or you loved about the new patch, and your feelings towards, you know, with Draenor coming. I'd love to hear your opinions on everything, so please don't be shy, leave your comments below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and put a little like in this video, because that helps a lot as well. Anyway guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and bye.